On NewsTalk 1090 WKBZ, the talk of Muskegon.
Still hanging in there, 64 degrees along the Lakeshore, 19 minutes past the hour. And got Dominique Bunker in from United Way on Mondays. And Dominique brought West Michigan Works in with her. And Amanda and Hannah are in this morning. And actually, you're both employees of Michigan Works.
Correct.
Okay. And to talk a little bit more about this youth program, because the youth program is pretty important, because it's not only keeps kids busy during the summertime.
Absolutely.
Maybe opens their eyes on what's out there and maybe what they want to do for the rest of their life. And so let's talk about the internship program.
Sure. Okay, so our Summer Work Experience program is an 8-week program that begins in June and goes through August. What's really important to know is that you should come in and fill an application during the springtime. You come right into West Michigan Works and our service center, and the ladies in the front desk can help you get an application. So that's first and foremost, to make sure that you apply. But during the course of our 8-week program that is for young people between the ages of 16 and 24, we have a week of orientation where we're working with young people and helping them get those employability skills that they need to how to be to work on time. Soft skill development is what we call it, to be dependable, how to shake hands, reviewing all of those things with our young people. From there, they're connected with a nonprofit employer in the community, and then they have on-the-job experience where they're able to tie these employability skills to the workplace. And that employer is really acting as a mentor. Some of our young people have never had any work experiences before. We have a lot of youth this year. It is their very first job. So to be able to partner with our employers in the area and really, truly mentor these young people and help get them ready for their future is a huge part of what we're doing. Throughout the summer, we also go on a couple of talent tours. We go and visit some businesses. This year, we'll be visiting a manufacturing company, healthcare, and culinary, all in-demand careers. So we want to be able to link, again, the skills that our young people are learning and connect it with employment, and then, again, connect it with training opportunities that we have here in West Michigan.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What's the capacity of the program?
Yeah, so this summer we have 64 young people who are working with us.
Really? 64?
Yes, and so depending on funding, our average goes anywhere from 50 to 90 young people.
Really?
So, yes.
So, I mean, it's a significant amount of young people in the community that are involved. What are the ages again?
16 to 24.
16 to 24. So that is a significant amount. I thought that maybe we were talking about 8 or 10 or 12, but that's quite a number of people.
Yeah.
And quite a number to manage, too.
Oh, it most definitely is.
Well, obviously, the larger the population of the program gets, I mean, the more you have to provide more services and more contacts, and keep expanding those too. So during the off season, then you're out looking for businesses that might be interested and nonprofits that might be interested in being a part of the program.
Yeah, so we have a business solutions team who connects with the employment side of things. So they're actively building partnerships with employers in the area to see who may want to come on and work alongside our young people. And so they're working on that year round.
Excellent.
I got a plug too from the nonprofit side for because most of these youth are partnered up with nonprofits. Because,
and of course, United Way.
And of course, United Way
has some of the, like 65 or 70 of the top nonprofits in the county.
Well, you know, we've had an intern at least since I started, which was last year, and this year as well. Probably much longer than that, but. For us, it's a really great way because it's hard. The summertime is such a busy time.
Oh, sure.
Especially for most nonprofits. You know, you got all the youth clubs running, you got all the summer camps and all of these running around. And it's hard to build capacity on that because if you're a nonprofit, a lot of time you're working from a very tight budget.
Sure.
And to be able to bring in a youth intern who's got fresh ideas. They're usually very energetic, and just being able to build that capacity up for the summertime is great. And they're getting paid pretty good wages, but it sounds like just a little bit over minimum wage this year, which is awesome. And that's all covered through the DTE Foundation grant.
Excellent.
So it's just for us, it's been really great to have that extra person on hand that we know that it's going to be able to get the work done during our busy season and it's just been a great positive experience so far.
Well, I can think of several. But when I'm involved in a lot of festivals and events and those kinds of things. From anything from one of the original members of Parties in the Park organization, not part of that anymore, but with the JCs and other nonprofit organizations. And man, they're always looking for like a steady volunteer during the summer, somebody that's going to learn, and especially the Bike Time organization and Michigan Irish Music Festival. And these really, they are nonprofits. They may not be part of United Way, but pretty much everybody in United Way is a part of one of those festivals too, and have worked on or gone to those festivals. But I can see where, an intern would be really helpful for a lot of organizations to be there. And also you get summer, and especially right now when unemployment is low, and there's a lot of jobs out there, and big employers like Michigan Adventure are scooping up everybody, and pretty much paying minimum wage, but they're scooping up everybody and trying to do that. So maybe fighting for the amount of people with having 64 young people involved in the program, but it gives them different kinds of experiences too.
Absolutely.
You're not just selling hot dogs.
No, we are not.
So it's kind of a very, especially working with United Way, and if they're able to work with everything that they do, and with on opening young people's eyes to things like Every Woman's Place and Love Incorporated, and all the different kinds of charities that they're involved with, and obviously if you look at United Way and the amount of things they're involved with, like Red Cross and those it's a diverse amount of things to do too. And so how do you go about working with the kids and assign them to it? What's the vetting process to saying, okay, this person, we get an internship available at the Red Cross or available at Mercy Hospital?
I can speak a little bit more to how we place our young people with different employers. So again, I work with the talent side of the house, so the young people, and then we have that business solution team, and they work with the employer side of the house. So they vet our employers and make sure that, yes, indeed, they want to take on youth in that capacity. And then what we do is we work really closely, that as we're getting applicants in, that we're coming together, and we actually have a placement day where we try to take into consideration, if we know what somebody's career of choice that they're in, somebody's age makes a really big difference too, because we need to make sure, for example, some employers require you to be above the age of 18, like to do some lawn care and things like that, or maybe to work with youth. So we try to take that into consideration, but then we also try to take into consideration where they live in the city and the proximity that employer is.
Transportation-wise,
exactly.
and
so
everything else to get there. Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So that's interesting to know too. And then maybe obviously you go through their resume and their application and their wants and likes and those kinds of things as well.
Actually, we don't take resumes as a part of this application
they won't have
process.
Much of a resume.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
But that's part of what we do through our summer program, is that we're building their experience, and then we help build a resume.
Builder. Yeah,
yes.
A builder
yes.
of a resume.
Yes.
That very, very much so. But obviously a lot of high schools around the area now requiring being involved with nonprofits over to graduate from high school. So that, this kind of fills the need, because you're also working with GED completion.
Yes, so in my year-round program.
For the young people that have not finished high school.
Exactly, and in our year-round youth program, Jobs for Michigan graduates, we're helping young people connect with finishing their education, so connecting them to GED and high school completion and helping support them as they're completing that.
There you go. Good stuff.
Yeah, it is really good stuff.
Hey, we're going to take a news break at the bottom of the hour, and we'll come back a little bit more and get more into depth on how we get and recruit kids from the community, and looking forward to recruit businesses and those kind of things. We'll take our news break at the bottom of the hour, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to News Talk 1090, WKBZ.
Hi,
iHeartRadio app. Download it now. Now, back to Talkin' Muskegon on NewsTalk 1090 WKBZ, the talk of Muskegon.
It's still 64 degrees along the lakeshore, 36 minutes past the hour, and partly sunny skies going to sunny skies. North wind at 9 to 13 miles an hour, gusting as high as 21 miles an hour. So let's talk about the youth program for this summer. I mean, is it going well? I mean, everybody, obviously, one of the things that we've talked about here when it comes to employment are the soft skills. The soft skills of making sure that they know how to read a clock and what time they're supposed to be there.
Oh, that's a huge piece of it, is making sure that they are at work when they're supposed to be and on time. So that means at least 10 to 15 minutes early. So that's hard for young people to wrap their heads around. Yes, and making sure that they have appropriate attire for their place of employment.
And so, again, 60 of the 64 you said you've got in the program, how many different organizations are they with? I mean, are they 64 different organizations?
No, I don't know the exact number of employers off the top of my head.
But about, so you assign 3 or 4 or 5 to a particular organization?
So, again, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but I would guess that we have at least 10 to 15 employers on hand this summer, and some of them are United Way and Boys and Girls Club and Club 188 and Hype. We have quite a few different employers where we have young people placed this year.
It really depends on that agency's ability to take on that many interns. So for United Way, we really had capacity for one. But a group like Pathfinders over at Muskegon Heights, they took on about 5 or 6 because they had that need with the summer kid programs going on right now. So
from the nonprofit or an employer standpoint, what is their responsibility? I mean, what do they do? Evaluations? Do they? Yeah. Obviously, they've got to supervise and do that portion of it.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So a huge part of the employer responsibility is really to make sure that they are helping reinforcing those soft skills that we're teaching in classes, that they're pouring into that. So really walking alongside, mentoring that young person. If something that could be an offense, that could be a write-up or fireable, really to help them walk through and see what the appropriate action is in the workplace. Sure. And every week our students do timesheet evaluations, and in that there's a section specifically for the employer to complete an evaluation. And so it's intended for the employer to sit down with that young person and really talk about the things that they're doing well and the things we need to continue working on throughout the course of the summer.
Excellent. Because, I mean, it does mean a whole lot to the student.
Absolutely.
In there, because they're learning, and the employer too. The employers learn a lot from interns.
Right.
I mean, I did that for many years at the telephone company. Probably had over the years probably 10 to 12 different college interns coming in, and they were fulfilling a college requirement, but they worked intern in different departments at the phone company and gaining experience, learning the work rules, learning the union procedures, and those kinds of things as well. But this is at an entry level, and this is coming into the job in the workforce.
Exactly, all entry level positions. And a good deal of our young people, again, it's their first time ever being employed, or maybe they've had very little employment. So it's trying to have that wraparound approach to these are the skills that employers desire to not only help you get a job, but so you can keep a job.
So technically, are these young people employees of Michigan Works? So they're getting a paycheck.
Yes.
They're getting a paycheck.
They are getting a paycheck. They're technically employees of Manpower. Manpower handles all of the payroll for us. So big shout out to Holly and Jordan over at Manpower.
Right. Yeah, great partner. A lot of organizations around the Muskegon. They're the ones right now that are saying, "Hey, we need some more unemployment.
Yeah.
We need some more people." And what you're doing is you're building up a workforce as well.
Exactly.
Because I don't think there's anything that we've talked a lot on this program about what's considered to be zero unemployment. You get to a point where people that aren't working are the people that just don't want to work or can't work for a disability reason or whatever it might be. And we're at a point right now where we need every young kid coming out of school or maybe has dropped out and going back to school. We need every one of those kids in the workforce.
You're listening to News Talk 1090 WKBZ.
degrees, 48 minutes past the hour, and we're talking West Michigan Works and United Way here with Dominique Bunker. And I didn't screw up there. Almost.
You got it.
And with Amanda and Hannah are both working with West Michigan Works. And Hannah is more on the ground level of working and out there with the program. Hannah, let's talk about your experience with working with. You were actually a part of the program.
Yes. So I am part of the program. I'm in the JMG program, which stands for Jobs for Michigan's Graduates.
Okay.
And then I'm also in the work program currently, helping out with the program of work experience, actually. So it's kind of interesting to be in it, but also helping to work behind the scenes.
All right.
And seeing what goes into it, and it's really cool. It's very interesting. And I get to talk to, I get to call them for things like, oh, remember to bring this and stuff like that. But it's just nice because I feel like I know them a little bit more now. Like, I can recognize their names and stuff like that, where last year when I was in the program, I didn't know stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. And it's nice to be able to be in the program, too, because you get to learn what you do and don't like and what you want to do as your future career.
Oh, there you go. Okay. I mean, so a great learning experience and being employed at the same time. Mm-hmm. That really is. That's very cool. What agencies are you working with at this point in time? We can talk about that. Obviously, they're United Way agencies for the most part.
So I'm working with West Michigan Works.
Okay.
I have done some things for United Way.
Right.
She helped us out with Ride United this year.
Oh, did you?
She was on the ground flyering, and she was there the day of rocking our gear and kind of helping people as they came in.
Yeah.
Well, then you probably met some interesting people along the way, too.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone's different, but it's pretty cool.
Well, and I mean, that's part of the employment skills is networking. Mm-hmm. Networking, meeting people at United Way and meeting people at other agencies and employers around the area. And when they get ready to hire, and they're looking at someone or somebody, but you make connections. And Muskegon is kind of a small place when it comes to that. Once you start building up some friendships and doing things. Well, you know, that's part of the whole. That's part of our culture is who you know. And people say, "Well, you got that job because you knew somebody." Well, saying, "Yeah." And I did. Of course.
John's a great person to know. John knows everyone. Everyone knows John.
Pretty close. Okay, you guys have an event coming up, too.
Yes. So as a part of our summer work experience project, we always do a community service project. Last summer, we did the International Games for Youth with Disabilities, where we partnered with No More Sidelines. And this year, we're actually partnering with the City of Muskegon Heights and Mayor Sims. And our event this year is called Make a Senior Smile. It'll be July 25th. So this Thursday, our young people will be helping to beautify some seniors' yards here in the city. And what we really want to do is making sure that we're building the bridge of communication between our young people and between seniors. And this year, it just so happens to be 1 yard at a time.
Okay. So you're going to be working in Muskegon Heights?
Yes.
Doing this. And what can we see you out doing this? Or this is the kind of stuff you don't see. It's not that visible.
Right. So I don't have the addresses of the homes where we'll be at, but we'll be in 3 different seniors' homes. We'll be doing the outside of their of their houses. So beautification out there, from raking to maybe painting stairs, whatever their particular needs are. Our young people did make some posters, so we have some different flyers that you could see out spreading awareness about ageism and then the work that we're doing this Thursday.
I'm going to give you my business card, and you email me the addresses, and we'll talk about where you guys are going to be on Thursday.
Perfect.
Yeah, and the weather this week is going to be absolutely gorgeous.
It is.
I mean, there's no rain in the forecast.
And it looks like that temp has went down.
And the high on Thursday is 81. So,
yes.
So it's going to be really pleasant along Michigan's west coast all week long. And this is going to be like the perfect summer week.
It will.
So it's a great thing to be outdoors and working rather than indoors and watching the storm roll overhead.
Most definitely.
Or trying to keep cool. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So you take everybody from the program, and this how do you gather the workforce to do this?
Sure. So it will be the young people who are in our summer work program. program, divided into 3 groups. And we actually have some young people who are placed in lawn care positions or placed in housing rehab positions. So what we'll be doing is kind of dividing them up amongst those 3 groups. And we'll also have some West Michigan Work staff at each location, as well as some volunteers from the community who actually have the skill set in lawn care and housing rehab to help guide us in our projects. And United Way, Dominique will be there and assisting us along the way.
Yeah, you can definitely look for the United Way trailer. We got our big logo that's pretty noticeable out there, but I won't give you the exact addresses, but if you're cruising around Glade Street, Hackley Avenue, or 8th Street, you might be able to see a large team of students working on a house. Anytime you see a community project like that, a lot of the neighbors will start coming out, and you'll start seeing a lot of activity at one location, and that's probably what's going on.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, now we've talked a lot about this program, and obviously summer's almost over. Well, not almost over, half over with.
Unfortunately.
Don't want to end it that soon. So those people that are listening, and whether they're parents, whether they're mentors, whether they're pastors, or who are out there, teachers that are out there on summer break and listening to this program, and we do have a little bit of a listening audience, the people are saying, okay, next year or during the course of the year, how do we sign up and how do we get into the program? How do we work with West Michigan Works?
Sure. So when it comes to summer work program, unfortunately, being that we're halfway through the program, not accepting any more applications for the summer, but keep us in mind. Next spring, 2020, stop on into Michigan Works at 316 Morris Avenue. If you have somebody who is between the ages of 16 and 24, needs to get re-enrolled in education to get that GED or high school diploma, or perhaps they have their diploma or GED and are just unsure of what their next steps are in life and need some direction, feel free to send them my way, Amanda Fox, and I'm located inside West Michigan Works in room 3. And I'd be happy to sit down and meet and talk about what our program is a little bit more in person.
There you go. Well, I'm thinking, obviously, my mind is running all the time, and I'm thinking there's a couple of nonprofits that I work with on a regular basis that probably will be giving you a call.
Yes. And I would say, too, specifically for our year-round program, we're always looking for different businesses where we can go and visit and show our young people in the program exactly what's happening there. So whether it's a talent tour, a job shadow, or a guest speaker.
Even after the summer program, I mean, you're still active and trying to recruit businesses, but maybe bring in some of these young folks to maybe observe what's going on in a machine shop or in a retail organization or something like that. So just to expose them to it throughout the rest of the year, not just part of the summer program.
Exactly. We're always looking for opportunities for our young people to be able to connect them with what's happening in our city and what employment opportunities are there, especially those that are in demand.
Very good. That sounds, again, you give your phone number again.
Yeah, so my name again is Amanda Fox, and my number is 231-332-3901.
Okay, we'll put a link on our Facebook site as well.
And before we go, John, I just got to give one more shout out to some of the partners, at least with the summer program. DTE Foundation, they're kind of the backbone of this program, especially when it comes into funding. And then also the people participating in our the talent tours, which is Muskegon Family Care, 8 Act Automotive, and the Culinary Institute of Michigan at Baker College.
Excellent. Dominique, thank you very much. We'll see you next week. They got a couple of announcements here we got to make before we actually have about 2 minutes to go in the. But I've got to mention that the Muskegon Clippers, they're ending their season tomorrow night. So they've got games tonight